This time I have a Yamaha DVD S2700. This is a super audio capable DVD player that'll do super audio as well as regular CDs and DVD audio. This one was bought off Canuck Audio Mart. This one the drawer is making noise and some buttons aren't working. I hope you laugh just as hard as I did when I took the cover off. You won't believe what I found. Check this out. This is a Yamaha DVD S2700 with super audio playback capability. The fellow that brought me this, I don't think he uses it as a DVD player. He just uses it as an SA CD player, and he just bought this thing, and he says it's making one heck of a noise when it opens and closes. So let's see what it does. Power up. Well, it doesn't even want to power up. What's going on? I got power. I have a power cord plugged into the back. Last time I checked, when you push the power button, oh, it has a master power switch here, but it's on. I got no lights. What am I missing? Like it's not doing anything. Is there power to this thing? Oh, the power light's on. Oh, it just now it says no. Now it says no disc. Okay, that was weird. It just took a while to turn on. So let's take a listen. When we open it, as if it opens. Oh yeah. I think that might be the problem. Watch the tray. And the buttons don't appear to work. I think that was his other complaint, was the buttons are a little bit stiff. Yeah, press it. I don't think it should do that. Okay, let's pop this thing apart. It's got a fair number of outputs on the back, including HDMI. It's got component output, conventional composite video, S-video out, coaxial and optical digital out, and that would be for Dolby Digital and probably DTS only. It would not pass your super audio signals. They would all have to be output through either the down mixed or the discrete outputs to take advantage of super audio's 5 channels. It's not something I ever got into, super audio, myself. I'm more of a stereo 2-channel type. And what the hell is this? What the hell? Okay, like this is like potted in putty. Look at the inside of this thing. Like, I've never seen anything like this. What's with that figure on the left? What is he, polishing his pole? And there's a BS there. What the hell? Unbelievable. I've never seen anything like this. I mean, I've seen manufacturers glue sheets of metal down, like Sony would glue a second sheet of metal down, but to put putty on there, like, really? Stick figure pulling his putty. I don't know. This looks like this might be a bodge job that someone did. Yeah, you bought this unit used, but to see a machine that's got putty stuffed all over it, and there's a screw dropped on inside here. Yeah, I think that this, I'm gonna have to get a hold of the guy and let him see this. Well, he'll see the video, but I mean, he bought this off Canuck Audio Mart, and that's a site for audio fools, by the way. I don't know. I don't think that they came from the factory like this. And there's no way in hell a service center would have done that. I can pretty much guarantee you it didn't come from the factory like that. And a screw that I find just sitting inside the unit that someone dropped into it. I think somebody bodged this job and sold it. That's what this says to me, that this was a bodge job that someone, because this is not like this just will peel right off, right? somebody's just gone and put plasticine. That's what this is. This is like, you know, the plasticine that kids would play with. That's what that is. I can't see any manufacturer throwing that inside the machine.
Even if it was to deaden vibrations.
Unbelievable. You know, I mean, that tray shouldn't wobble like that either. But I mean, what a joke. Maybe I'm off base. Maybe Yamaha did this. You know, I mean, who knows right now? Yamaha didn't do this, okay? This is the job of an amateur. There's no snowball's chance in hell that a manufacturer turned out a high-end product like this with plasticine over the inside of it. I mean, what the hell is... What, did someone read somewhere on some audio site that if you cover the inside of your machine with plasticine, you'll deaden resonance? I mean, it's like, are you kidding me? In fact, I'm going to phone the guy right now and tell him, show him what. I'm going to send him a picture of it. That's even better. He'll get a laugh out of this before I even get into this unit. So I talked to the guy that owned this thing, and he actually said when he bought it, it was skipping, and he gave it a smack, and it stopped it from skipping, but it still had this chattering. He pulled the top off it, and he said he saw all this stuff, and he wondered what the hell it was. So he contacted the fellow that he bought it from, and the guy that he bought it from denies any knowledge whether the guy he bought it from did it or whether he just bought it from someone else. And this has been on there for a while, but one thing for sure, I don't think it belongs in here. So we're going to peel this stuff all out because it's maybe someone put it in there to try to overcome a problem. Who knows? But it's like one of these home remedies, right? You know, like the people that were, what was it they were taking? Horse deworming pills because they thought it would cure them from COVID or something. I never know what. But anyway, I'm going to try to peel all this crap out of here because it's certainly not doing it any good. And guaranteed, this did not come from a factory like this. You can see from heat it's been changing color, but there's a lot of this crap in here. Like, what did they do? Anyway, let me get this mess cleaned out here, and then we can take a look at this thing and see why it's chattering. Ivermectin, that's what I was trying to think of. Some guy that wears an orange rug, I think, was promoting that, wasn't it? Oh, well. Say some people will try anything, right? And I think someone's tried this for whatever reason. They've, oh, let's just put a bunch of putty around here or plasticine around here. That'll deaden the vibrations from what, right? Anyway, I'm sure it doesn't do it any good.
So the stuff's called Bostic Blue Tack, and LePage has got it called Fun Tack. Audiophiles would stick it inside their speaker cabinets to stop things from vibrating and on cables and so forth. But inside your CD player?
I mean, come on.
Are you kidding me?
And I hope some shop didn't do that.
You'd also mold it around things like your RCA connectors to stop vibrations and so forth. But, you know, it's
amateur hour here today, that's for sure. At least with this crap.
Exactly. I mean, this is taking it to the extreme.
Probably get about $10 worth of silly putty in here. Unbelievable. It's like every square inch of this unit where there's metal exposed, some idiot has put silly putty or plasticine or wherever the hell this stuff is. But, I mean, god damn. I don't know if I've ever seen anything so ridiculous in my life. It's like, and getting this stuff out of here is not the easiest task. I don't want to damage anything, so I got to be careful around these stupid ribbon cables. But I mean, it's like, I just don't understand what somebody was trying to accomplish by doing this. Look at the size of that. And I haven't even tackled the top cover, which has got even more of it. It's like ridiculous. Then there's the top of it, like I just probably got about 2 pounds of this stuff in here. So that's what was in there. I mean, this probably weighs, I'm going to say, 3 to 4 pounds, maybe as much as 5 pounds. At least, I think this is probably close to 5 pounds. This is heavier than a camcorder. What the person was trying to achieve by doing this, who knows? Were they trying to reduce resonance from the cabinet? I mean, generally you have to vibrate or cause a lot of vibration to knock a laser off track, if that's what they were trying to accomplish. Some of the earlier ES CD players, they would, as I mentioned before, they would attach another piece of steel to the inside of the cabinet and glue it down. And I think a lot of that was because when people were paying a premium price for their ES product, they wanted to make damn sure it was heavy. If you were paying $2,000 or $3,000 for a single disc CD player, that sucker better weigh 40 pounds so that people felt like they were getting something for it. Now, the original ES products, and I've got some that are very heavy, they have copper chassis in them, heavy metal chassis. And then after a few years, they started just punching out the same junk, well, I wouldn't say junk, but the same CD players as were being sold on the consumer market, not the high-end ES market, but the regular, ordinary CD players were being sold with an ES badge. And to make them feel that they were more substantial than their cheaper cousins, they put extra metal on the cabinet just so that they were heavy. Sometimes they put an extra heavy base on it just so that the thing was heavy. This is fairly heavy as it is, but that's what they did to make the unit heavier, so that it gave people that were buying it the psychological thought that they were getting more for it. There was more in it, and actually there wasn't. It was exactly the same as the regular model. It's just that they padded it with extra padding to make it heavier. I want to pull the front panel off on this because some of these buttons are not functioning properly. I'll take a look at those. I don't even know how the front panel comes off on this, but we'll figure it out. I'll just remove some screws and we'll get into the front of this unit and just take a look at the buttons. And then I got to look at that tray as to why it's chattering like that. And who knows, maybe we'll find some more silly putty in behind the front panel here. It would not surprise me. If someone went to all the trouble to put that in where it was, where we found it, there could very well be more underneath here that's been stuffed in here. But someone went to a lot of work for something. Exactly what, I don't know. I've never seen that done. Again, maybe someone following some bad advice given by someone who really didn't know what they were talking about. And I seem to see that happen a lot. People do things because someone else tells them to do it. Okay, nothing more found here except for a little bit around the front here, which we can get out of here. Okay, now I can at least get at the transport to see why this thing's chattering like it is. Okay, let's take a look at the tray. It's pretty dirty. That's one thing it is, it's dirty. That button's not working very well. I have to deal with the buttons on this thing because it might just need to be lubed up a bit. I'm going to deal with the buttons first of all because they're not working properly. So let's fix those. Even the power button. Right, when I push the power button, it doesn't turn off, right? That's why I couldn't get it to turn on. You really gotta hit it hard. Oh, now it's gonna open. Yeah, pushing the power button makes it open. Let's deal with the buttons first. Alright, just pop this out. Could be tactile switches that probably just need to be cleaned up a bit. Because you know how they go, right? And it's your standard tactile switch. It's the main power button. Probably pop this open and clean these switches out. That's probably the easiest thing. I don't have any, and I don't feel like going and buying a bunch of switches. But these ones should lend themselves to cleaning, no problem. Just got to pop them open. They come apart quite easy. Just got to lift up one corner of them, and then you can generally just pop the rest of the switch apart. Inside here there'll be a little button, and it pushes down on a little diaphragm that presses the two contacts together. So what happens usually is that the little diaphragm gets tarnished. It's usually made out of silver-plated metal, and it usually gets tarnished, and then it stops making a good connection. So we pop the switch apart. You'll see inside here that little disc that is going to be discolored. We'll just take it out, just turn it over, and you'll see that it's all gone kind of black if we look closely. So basically what we need to do is we need to clean this off and clean these contacts up, put that one together. That should fix the switch, and it'll fix it for a long time, I might add. So I'm just putting some neutral contact cleaner onto a Q-tip and get in there and clean this, and then of course just scrape the contacts a bit here, make sure that they're good and clean. And we'll do the same for the little switch over here. It's not every switch on here that's bad too. It's just, as far as I can see, it's just the power button and the open close button. The other ones appear to work, but the ones that you want on the front panel are the power buttons and the open close ones. Okay, that's back together. Press it in place, and then use a soldering iron to fuse the little metal or the little plastic tabs back over so that it works, so it holds it in place. And just plug this back in, and we can test it. Goes in like that, and then snap the little circuit board back in. And I'll just plug this back into the set and see if it turns on when I push the power button, as it wasn't turning on before. I had to open it, I had to power it up by pressing the play button. So, will it power up? There it is. It's on. Power light's on over there. See? Yamaha loading. And turn it off. Off. So now the power button is doing its job. So that part's fixed. The loading button, or the loader here, this one's not working, as you can see. Now it is. Is it going to work properly this time? Maybe the other switch was shorting a bit. That might have been why it wasn't working, because it seems to be. No, still got to push it a little bit harder. Yeah, it seems to be working okay now. So these ones might not be in quite as bad a shape. Maybe just a shot of cleaner to them into the switch itself might save these ones without having to be taken apart completely like the other one, because the other one just would not work. Pop this out. Yeah, what happened to putting screws in? I hate plastic clips. I really do, because plastic clips are always the things that are going to break, right? They get brittle, and if you're not careful, the next thing you know, you've got a button that's broken off, or tab that's broken off. So the one that was giving me the trouble initially was this one over here. I had to also do the open close switch and the skip back. They were also bad. So I took those ones apart, cleaned those ones up, and now I think I can probably put the screws back in that hold the front cover on, as I don't need to. I don't think I need to get down in here anymore.
Let's pull the mechanism and check that out.
Okay, I got the screws out from the mechanism. This should just lift out, I think. To get this drive assembly out, see why that thing's chattering. Okay, the drive just lifts up and then lifts up like this. It's holding it in down here. We've got a laser connector, and we've got two other power connectors down here. And optical pickup just moves here nice and easily. And this one will open the tray. Oh, what the hell? He's put more of this stuff on the bottom here. What the hell was this guy thinking? Like, yeah, you think that's a good idea? What a joke. Might be able to lift the top cover off here. This should lift off. Oh, I know what that screw I bet went to here. That screw I found that was just sitting in there, I bet you that screw is what holds this top cover down. The screw I found just lying in the bottom here, I bet you that's where that came from. It looks like there's one missing from the other side too, but this top should lift off. Actually, it should slide forward. Should lift it forward and lift it off like that. Like that, okay. This is the motor that drives the laser. And here's our front carriage here. Why is it shaking? Maybe because of the weight from that. That could have been it, you know, that extra weight on the front weighing it down. That may have been why it was making all that racket. It's pretty dirty in here. We're going to put maybe some lubricant or clean the rails a bit. There's a bunch of dust in here. We'll just scoop this out. Well, I've got it apart. I'll take a look at the laser pickup, because the fellow that brought it to me, he was shipped a replacement laser with it. I'm told that this was the pickup that went with it. I don't know whether it is or not, but we'll take a look and see whether it is the same laser, just so he knows if he's got a spare. Yeah, it looks like it might be the same traverse. A little different motor here. This might be the same pickup. The whole traverse unit. DVM34. This one got a number on it. Looks to be the same pickup, actually, from where I can see here. This looks to be the same one. It's not a Yamaha one, but it looks to be exactly the same pickup. This one here as this one. You see, even looking at the motor and everything here, this looks to be the same optical pickup and the same motor. So I guess he has a spare. He wanted me to check that out while I had it apart, and that looks to be the right one. So I don't think there's anything wrong with this pickup, so we won't touch that. I just wanted to inspect it and see whether it was the same, and it looks like it is. And someone's got it marked on here what it's for. I'd probably operate this with the cover off it just to see how this sounds with this open. See if I get rid of that racket. Oh, what do you know? It doesn't do that. Doesn't make that racket anymore. I think it was just that. That was just that bloody on the bottom of it. Ah, man. What a joke. You know, it's like, is there anything on the underside of this? I expected to find some in here. Okay, let's put this back together, and I'll put the screw in it this time too that was missing. This just slides in place. Like that, and then it drops down and locks in place right like that. Now I'm pretty sure that that screw either was on this side or the other side, but that screw definitely goes right in there. And that holds the cover in place. Then this sits back in, goes under like that, and drops down into place. Just like that. Okay, let me throw these screws back in, and we'll test this thing and see how it's performing. Again, it was brought to me because it was chattering. So this unit is working now. Got the remote control here, so I'm going through some of the menus on here. What ones I can see, because some of them are blanked out when you're playing an SACD.
For such a pricey unit, you know, you would have thought they would have had nicer menus. Like, I've seen $20 DVD players that have nicer looking menus than this Yamaha, but I guess it gets the job done, right?
It's got different, oh look, SACD coding, config 1, config 2, config 3, config 1, cutoff frequency. What's that for? Huh. Return, does that take me back? Yes. Video levels, HDMI, disc. I guess that's just it. Some of the other features are dealing more with the video output aspect of it. But yeah, it seems to be working now, and as you can hear, when I eject the disc, which I can, oh, there's an eject button on here or not. Yeah, I don't see an eject button on the remote. So none of that rattling anymore. Anyway, I think this one's good. I'm going to run it here for a bit, make sure everything's good on it. But I think this one, the problem is solved. We solved the problem with the key switches and got rid of that rattling noise and got rid of all that 5 pounds of... you throw this at someone and make it into a weapon. This is, yeah, I don't know. Don't know whose rocket scientist's idea that was. But it certainly didn't do it any good, that's for sure. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye.